This is without a doubt the best book I have read this year. Let's talk about it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Before we jump right on into it, if at any point you like what you see or hear, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Also subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know anytime we upload any new content. And with that said, let's get into it because I am extremely excited to talk about this book with everybody. So, we are here today to talk about Grandma Chainsaw number 2. If you all remember, I will put a link down in the description just in case you don't. We got Grandma Chainsaw number 1 late last year. Jay and I did a really cool dynamic duo review with a little bit of an insider conversation from Alan Dunford on there. This year, don't quite have something that special for you guys, but I can tell you that flat out, this is the best book I've read this year. Bar none. It's not going to be a surprise when I do my normal end of year list that this is going to be number 1. Alright, so with that said, let's get into it. So, let's talk about the team on this book. This is written by Alan Dunford and Will Radford. Art by Brian Bolondo. Colors by Jason Smith. Rest in peace. And letters by Dave Lentz. So, where are we in this book? It pretty much starts right where it ends at the end of book 1. And it does not take long for the creative team to establish the humor in this book. Just the first couple of lines where you have one of our main characters, Gabby, just going off on everybody. And Fury Chan, in the way that they have him speak, which if you've not read number 1, he basically talks like you would if it was medieval times. Thou, thee, this and that. And he talks about maybe the crimson scourge is upon her for her monthly visit. That line alone just sets the tone for the book for me. So I'm just going to put that out there. But they're basically in the woods trying to figure out how to attack everything and how to go about attacking Hazel. And basically what they decide to do is there's 8 of them. So they divide into 2 teams of 4. One team is going to descend into hell or go into the basement. The other team is going to go into the main part of the house and upstairs, which is where the first round of killing took place in the first book. So they divide it up, and you see each of the 2 teams enter, the first one going down into the basement. I will say this, as both teams enter their respective parts of the house, you are greeted with these epic panels that are just creepy. You see basically who the enemies are that they're going to face. As the team that comes into the basement comes, there is just this nice little sequential page where you see Hazel's eyes and her smile. That is one of the things they use that are just epically freaky. You don't see the whole figure, just the smile, and it creeps me out every time I see it. So they're coming down into the basement, and Nightshade and Shadow Axe are, of course, they're a couple, and they're one of those couples where, oh my god, babe, you're so hot, and blah, blah, blah. So they're really cheesy and corny. They start in on their thing, and it's hilarious. What comes after that is Hazel attacks them in epically brutal fashion. And I mean epic. Basically, she comes in, they're doing they're having adult playtime is basically the best way to put it. And you hear Hazel come in, and she just smashes Shadow Axe in the face. I mean, just breaks his nose, shatters it, blah, blah, blah. And what basically comes after that is about 2 or 3 pages just of bloody murder is the best way to put it. Kudos to Dave, because I'm going to put this in there. When you talk about lettering and stuff like that, he did a little something in here that, ironically, the first about 4 times I read this book, I didn't catch it, but this time I did. So there's a panel at the bottom of the page where basically what Hazel is doing is she is sticking, I think, some kind of air thing in Nightshade's mouth, and she boops her nose closed, so like that. What I never caught is when they say boop, Dave put a smiley face right next to it in the letter bubble. I don't know why, but I just thought that was a really, really fun touch and fits the tone of the book. So kudos to y'all. I don't know how I missed that the first 4 times I read it, but I did. So that for me was fun. And again, she holds the nose closed. So basically what happens is Nightshade's head fills with air and it explodes. And then she proceeds just to destroy Shadow Axe. She slices his legs, and it's not the chainsaw this time. It's basically, it looks like a bat or some kind of thing, and she just beats him to a bloody pulp. So we fast forward. Now we are upstairs with the other team, and of course it's Fury Chan, Gabby, and the twins basically. And we meet another new character in this book. He's called the Dollmaker. Don't know why, but this guy creeps me out more than Hazel. It's just with the look of him. And when you see this book, I promise you will understand what I mean by how creepy he looks. But they are in the room where Gabby's girlfriend was killed, and there is a doll laying on the bed, and it moves. And of course it scurries off, and this is where the Dollmaker kind of makes their entrance. And the book essentially ends with the Dollmaker calling out a bunch of little dolls from everywhere. So if you're creeped out by that kind of thing, be ready. That's all I'm going to tell you. And it ends with this epic thing. They walk into a room and it looks like a chair made of bodies, if I'm remembering the panel correctly. And that's basically where this book ends. This was my favorite read, not only because of the fact that it was just, the kills were epic, but the book for me was never dull in any moment. When it wasn't just being brutal and epic, it was being hilarious. So for me, it was just, oh my God, mixed with a laugh, just going back and forth. I had the most fun I've had in a long time reading this book. Art-wise, I mean, what can you say? Brian and Jason were one of the best teams in comics. They complemented each other very well. Jason just knew how to color Brian's art, and it just made the book what it was. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm going to sidebar here a little bit. Jason unfortunately passed away very recently, so I know the team has been very devastated by it. Of course, all of us here at Triangle of Truth want to send our condolences to his family. Jason was a very, very cool guy. Got the chance to talk with him a few times. Always just a good sense of humor. Really chill, relaxed guy. So, Jason, just know we are going to miss you, man. But yeah, so back to the story. Like I was saying, Jason and Brian as a team, in my opinion, were becoming one of the best teams in all of comics. And you will see that in this book, I promise you. Yeah, but the art was very complimentary of the story. When it needed to be funny, it worked. When it needed to be brutal, it really was. And Dave's lettering, top notch. The way he uses different lettering formats in this one, he'll use different ways to show internal thoughts. He was showing off, in my opinion, on this one. It was really, really good. So I don't know what else I can tell you that makes this book as good as it is. It's just, I had that much fun reading it. You should definitely check it out. Issue 3 actually just wrapped up on Kickstarter, so I am very excited to get that. I have had the pleasure to see a couple of panels with the new colorist for this book, and Carrie did absolutely phenomenal. You honestly would not know that it's a different colorist, but Carrie's work is going to be amazing. And I hope she stays on that series and does more with that team in general, because she is extremely talented. So keep an eye out for when we get Grandma Chainsaw 3 in the mail. We'll do unboxings, and of course we'll do a review. Probably by that time, just kind of a small announcement, we'll be living separately. We've all lived together for a long time, but Jay and Jenna are going to be in their place. I'll be moving soon, probably around New Year. So around the time all that happens, we'll be doing that, and we'll probably have separate unboxing videos, just because we actually backed this separately for that reason. So yeah, just a little bit of a sidebar and a little bit of a ramble. Just if you notice any changes in the future, that's basically what's coming. But yeah, so I promise you, Grandma Chainsaw 3 is going to be amazing. And hopefully next year we'll see issue 4, which I think is going to I don't know if it'll wrap up the series as a whole or if it'll just wrap up a story arc. I don't know, and that's fine. It's nice to be surprised every so often by what Alan and Will do. But if you can, check this book out. I will try to find out, hopefully by the time I post this video. If I do not, I will just go ahead and apologize now. If there's a way that you can contact them and see if you can get issues 1 and 2. Otherwise, keep an eye out for when the issue 4 Kickstarter goes and get the whole series. I promise you, you will not regret it. So, with that said, I'm going to get out of your hair. Please, everybody, have a safe rest of your week. Hug your loved ones. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will catch everyone next time. Later.